Okay, I think we'll get started. So today we're going to do our first lecture here on our mini course on the LuckFox Pico Max or Pro. They're just different versions of the same microcontroller here. The goal for this, and it's a little bit longer video, is to add a new user. So instead of just logging in as Pico with the generic password, we're going to make you can make your own user there. Then we'll block the root login. So if you do have this out in the open, people won't be able to log in just using the LuckFox password that is freely available everywhere. Then we're going to create a static IP. That's going to be convenient. So if you have your system hooked up and if it goes down and back up again in your local area network, you don't want it to not know what or always have to go look at what the dynamic IP address is. So we'll assign an IP to it. Then whenever it gets turned off and turned back on again, then it remains the same. And then finally, this really gets to the heart of the question of why look at the LuckFox Pico when you can just use the Raspberry Pi Pico, and that has a much larger ecosystem, and so you could find anything that you want to do pretty much out there on YouTube with someone's done it with the Raspberry Pi Pico. Much less so with the LuckFox. One of the questions would be, well, why not just use the Pico? And so one of the big deals is that it's pretty powerful. This is a pretty powerful chip, and it's running a light version of Ubuntu Linux. It's a very common Linux distribution, and has full-blown Python on it. So you're not using Thony to talk to it like you would with a Pico. You're actually can write your Python code right there, and we can put in the sophisticated libraries. Now it's a little bit trickier, I found anyway, and this gets to probably my main point of this video of this part of the course is I am not the person you would want to be learning Linux from. I'm just barely able to function in Linux, but I had some great difficulty getting this all kind of set. Some things easy, some things hard. And so hopefully if we go through this, you've got your development system set up so that you can take off and start writing some Python programs. We are going to jump in with assuming you've already got your Ubuntu installed and it's working. You've logged in via the Pico login, and that's all working. The LuckFox tutorial is outstanding. It's all in written text. There's a nice video by Fusion Automate on YouTube, and he's got he takes you through the setup of the SD card and getting that all set. So if you watch the one on his setup with Ubuntu, that's all you're going to need, and you should be able to log in and get going. So we'll pick up from there now. Okay, so here we are with the first part of the setup. So first thing we're going to need to do is figure out the IP address of our LuckFox. So in my case, and likely in many cases, the LuckFox is assigned a dynamic IP as soon as it gets plugged in. We can see the LuckFox over here. I've got it. This is just power, and then here's the internet connection. I've got a broken clip on there, so I've got it taped into the holder so the cord hopefully doesn't come out as we work with it. So we won't be actually physically working with the LuckFox in this early part of the setup, but later we will test some of the GPIO pins, so we'll want to be able to see the LuckFox as well. All right, so this is going to be where you're going to deviate likely, and so you might have to be on your own a little bit in terms of figuring out this first step. So in my case, I've got an ASUS router, and I will be able to log into it and determine a couple things that we're going to need, and then you would want to do this for your particular router. So I'm going to log in, and I'm going to see my client list here. So I'm going to view my client list, and I'm going to notice my LuckFox here is on the 192.168.50.126. Now, my router's address is 192.168.50.1. And so those are the two numbers that you're going to want to figure out. What is your LuckFox currently? And then what is the base router address? Okay, so I'm going to just log out of this. And now let's go to our website for this little mini course, and we'll get some of the stuff we need. So you can just search me, and I suppose depending on where in the world you are, I'll show up somewhere on this list. Either one of this is the one you want. This is my main page here. So we'll go ahead and go there, then to teaching. And under teaching, we'll go to the LuckFox microcontroller course. Okay, so here's our base page. This is a little introduction to some of the stuff that I mentioned in the opening part of this video about what we'll do for this with this course. Okay, so we'll click on the setup guide here, and we'll just walk through that setup guide. So I'll click on that. Let's see if I can, make this a little bit bigger. And now we'll just sort of walk through this. So let me get this positioned good. So hopefully you can see pretty well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is, and this is a bit optional, but we're going to create a new user and then forbid log in with root and with Pico. The reason for that is if you're going to have this out and available, then everybody knows the password for LuckFox, or you can just look that up. It's LuckFox. So what you can do is set up your own user and password, and then you can prevent root login as well. So that's our first step here. So how we're going to read this setup guide is purple is going to be the entries that we're going to write into our terminal. Blue will be comments, and orange will just be code that we'll put in our configuration files. So let's look at what we have to do here, and I'm going to open up a terminal. And now I'm on my machine here. Now in Windows, you can just open up a Windows terminal as well. So I think it's CMD, and this terminal will come up, and all of the same stuff we'll be doing, because we're almost always going to be logged actually into our LuckFox, which is running Ubuntu. So presumably you've got that set up, so let's go ahead and get there. All right, so we need to log into our LuckFox. So hopefully you've tried this before, but we'll just go through that here. So I'm going to go SSH Pico at 192.168.50, which is our sort of base part of this IP address, and then 126 is what we recognized as where the dynamic IP was assigned. So hopefully this will get us there. And then LuckFox is the I don't know, I guess I haven't even tried case sensitivity, but I just under lowercase LuckFox. And you will probably get a, do you want to go forward with this? And then you just type yes if it's the first time you've logged in. But here we are. Now we are in the the LuckFox. We can look around a little bit and see things that are there. So what we're going to do now is create a new user. So we're going to go sudo add user. Darren, and you use your name or whatever you would like here. And so we'll type that in, and then LuckFox. Oh, shoot. And then I need a password. So you type your password that you want. So that's not the LuckFox password. This you can skip here, but I'll just. Whoop. I'll put my office room and skip the rest. Okay. And yes. Okay. So now we've added this user. So now I need to go to our second line here. So sudo user mod ag sudo Darren. And what this is doing is it's elevating this user, Darren, now to sudo user. So we need that because we're going to block then the Pico. Okay, I think that's done. So now, really important here, before we go ahead and block the Pico, we want to check that this works. So I'm going to log out. And now I'm back on my machine. So you should be back on your machine. So now what we can do is SSH Darren at 192.168.50.126. And then it should ask for my password. And did it get me in? Yeah, I think it got me in. Okay, so now we know that this one works. So we're going to go and modify the configuration files now so that it doesn't allow the root user, and it also denies Pico. So there's root, and then there's the Pico user. So the Pico is set up for the Ubuntu install, and root is like the root user in just the base LuckFox setup. So what I'm going to do here is open up a file. So we use the nano text editor, and this file is in the etc. directory, and it's dealing with our SSH protocol. And okay, so now we're in this file. I'm going to open this up just a little bit here. And we need to find a couple of things here. And so hopefully I can find them. Right here, this one, permit root login. So we want to go to this. We want to uncomment that. And we want to say no. And then at the very bottom, what we want to do is add this line right here, deny user Pico. Okay, and I think that should work. Okay, now we want to restart the SSH. And I'm going to log out. And now I'm going to try to log in as Pico. I always check this because I always make mistakes in, let's see, 198, and I don't get it the first time usually. Good. So we see it was denied. So looks like I got it the first time this time. So we're going to come out of this now, and hopefully we didn't lock ourselves all the way out. So now let's use our new user. And we're back in. So we have now succeeded in the first part of the setup. Again, this was an optional setup, part of the setup, but we succeeded here in denying, making a new user and then denying root access or root login. So let's go ahead and now create a static IP. So I'm going to move this off a little bit. So we need to make this YAML file, which isn't actually in here yet. So we'll go sudo nano. So this will open up the text editor, and then make sure I get this right. So now I should have an empty file, and I am going to, rather than type this in, I'm just going to copy this in. And double check here, make sure everything is right. And then let's go through what you need to change. I'm setting my LuckFoxes as 200, 201, 202 as I get more LuckFoxes. So I'm going to set this as 202. Now, you might want to set it as something different if this is used on your network, but 202, and we need this /24 here, but change that as appropriate. And then here is my router itself. So this could be different for you. So make sure that you've got that all correct. And then let's exit. Okay, so hopefully I've got that in the right spot and the file named correctly. So now we want to set this permission. So we're going to go. I'm going to actually see if I can. No, I don't have it here. So I'm going to type this in. Oh, uh-oh. I might have a mistake here. So I think I will pause the video and see what I did wrong and then come back. Okay, I think I found it here. So I have a spelling error or typo here. Should be FG. And do I have that right in the guide? FG, yeah. Okay, so let's go there. And then I will copy this bit back in. So as I said in the intro. I'm not the person to be learning Linux from, but we'll see if we can get this corrected here now. Okay. All right, so hopefully that will do the trick. Okay, so we should be back now to this step here. So now I'm going to go on to this step right here. And then next line, applying the net plan. Okay. Now, this happens to this always seems to happen, and so if this hangs up like it's doing here, then what we need to do is open a new terminal and get back to that. So I'm kind of glad this happened. This happens, seems to happen all the time. So I'm going to open a new terminal here, and let's see now if we can. It should. I think it has taken effect. So we should be able to find our new address here. So so now it should be 202. And it looks like it's going to work. So this sort of asks you if you want to log into this new IP address here. And okay, so it actually works. We just got, it just hangs up. Again, people who are much better at Linux than me probably can get this figured out and maybe give some comments to get past this point a little bit more gracefully. So I'm just going to close this terminal, and now we'll work on this terminal. So it should be working now. We're logged in, and we have now a static IP. So let's go ahead and now get to the next step, which is to start installing some Python packages here. So this will take a little bit of time, so we'll get going. I'll pause the video as things happen on my computer, and you can let them happen on your computer, and then we will continue to progress through. So first thing, as one typically does, is make sure we're all updated. And then we will do an upgrade, it's the sudo apt upgrade. And that's where it can tend to take a little while. So when I hit that, then I'll just pause and come back when it's done. So I don't think we're too much further here, 92%. So hopefully we'll get there soon. Okay, and now sudo apt upgrade. And I will hit this. We'll see that it starts running, and I'll pause the video. I think this might take a little while. I thought I would come back in here quickly. we get this asking these questions here. I've always just put the default no, and haven't had trouble. So that's what we'll do here. And so I'll let you do that as well, and I'll pause the recording again. Okay, so looks like mine's done. Took quite a while. Yours might have as well. So now we're ready to move on to installing some more of the Python packages. So there's a Python 3 is already installed here as part of the Ubuntu install. And what we're going to, so already there, just having Ubuntu on this makes it different than a Raspberry Pi Pico. Because the question is, why not just use the Raspberry Pi Pico? It has a much bigger ecosystem, and you can find all sorts of YouTube videos on all sorts of different interfaces and any project that you need. So we want to think about what are some reasons to use the LuckFox instead. And so what we want to do is get a little more of the main Python packages in here. And so what we're going to add are NumPy and Matplotlib, and then we're going to add Flask, because we'll do a very simple example of hosting a Flask website, and then we'll also add requests. So that's where it can go out and kind of we'll interface with the Google Sheet, so we'll be able to send out information network-wide. You could log into the Google Sheet and see updated information without having to open up and have the network penetrate into the LuckFox. So a couple of things that we wouldn't be able to do with a Pico. Now, I've had the hardest time getting this figured out, and thankfully my friend and colleague ChatGPT was able to help me quite a bit. Again, nowhere near any kind of expertise in Linux, so those of you out there maybe have a much more elegant solution to what we're about to do here. So I've discovered that certain packages install just fine with pip, but others can't, namely NumPy and Matplotlib. So I ended up having to install, instead of with pip, but with apt. Also, it's a very good practice to set up a virtual environment, but I was never able to quite get it to work well with the virtual environment and work completely with the virtual environment. So we're just going to install these packages system-wide, so they're accessible system-wide. You can script your Python, I guess, that way, but in the end, you're running this off of a SD card. You can make some copies of your SD card, and then it's a little bit less than screwing up a system, a big system that you've set up. So we're just going to do it that way. And again, if you have any insight on how to make this more elegant, please share that to the comments. Okay. The other thing is that weirdly, and it's something I don't understand, is I need to install NumPy and Matplotlib in the normal way, and then install an older version to actually get it to work. So not sure if that has to do with the support for the ARM architecture, or if it has to do with the lighter version of Ubuntu that's being run here. I'm just not sure. But that did work. So at the end, we'll come out with a working version of Matplotlib and NumPy, hopefully. Every time I try it, I have something kind of go awry as well. So again, rather than watching me type in all of this highlighted here, we're going to just put in all our packages. So I'm going to copy that here, and hopefully I've got this right and no spelling errors again. I will paste that in here. And now this will take quite a long time. And so I'll go ahead and get this started. And then I'll just pause the video and come back. So not sure how long this will take for you, but I believe it'll take a fair bit of time. And then when we come back, what we'll do is we're going to need to force install a already built version of NumPy, an older version of NumPy, and a older version of Matplotlib. So we'll go ahead and pause the video here. Okay, we're back. It didn't take too long, I guess, but we've got now all of the dependencies that Matplotlib needs. So I guess maybe what I forgot to mention earlier is that normally you would just do pip install Matplotlib and it would bring in everything it needs, but that doesn't seem to happen here. So this big list is just a lot of the dependencies, in addition to Flask and requests, but a lot of the dependencies that Matplotlib needed. So now we will, this still will not work. Well, maybe let's check that. I'll go ahead and ask the version here. Oh, I guess it did work. Okay, well, we'll skip this last step then. It's not good, I guess, when you don't quite know why something's working or not working, but I guess if it works, you go for it. So looks like we have the newer version of Matplotlib in here. It is the old version of, or it is this version of NumPy. So I don't know if that's the, yeah. Okay, well, that worked. There is this step here if it didn't work for you, because it hasn't for me in the past. So, but this is a fresh SD card, fresh install. So you can try this if that doesn't work. So glad we tested it, and looks like it's working. What we'll do now is we will write a little program that will create a graph and then store it as a PNG file, and then we'll send that over to our main computer and look at the graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we go back to our website over here, and we're going to do plot test. Now this is a Python file, but on the web here I just have it as a text file. So simple file here. So we're going to need NumPy. We're going to need Matplotlib. We're going to generate a sine wave, and we're going to just plot that and save it as a PNG file. So I'm going to copy this. That will copy. Then we'll go back to the terminal. So we'll go sudo nano. Oh, actually, let's do this. You don't need to do this, but I will get this in my directory, and I will make a directory projects. And then I'll go into the projects directory. So all I'm doing here is just making a separate directory on the LuckFox for these projects. And what did we call this? Plot test.py. So do py, not txt here. And let's hope this copies correctly here. Paste. Yep. Okay, so there's our program. And now it's ready. So let's try to run it. Python 3 plot test.py. And hopefully it's working here. Okay, And so it says plot saved as test.png. So let's see if it's there. Yep, it's there. So now what we want to do, let me see if I'll go back to the setup guide. Oh shoot, I should have this on here. We'll want to look at this in our other computer. I'll have to add this to the PDF file. So when you're looking at this, I'll have that added. So I'm gonna get that done here. Okay, I guess I had it in my notes here, but I'll put it in the PDF, which I forgot. So what we're going to do is just use SCP to pull from the LuckFox over to my main computer. Now, Windows, I think it might be something different here, but we can just test this here on this machine. So I'm going to open a new terminal. And now this is on my local Linux machine. And so I'm going to just paste this in here. And I need the password. And hopefully this should, oh shoot. I'm on the wrong address. Project, oh, do I have projects? Sorry, I'll pause this again, make sure I get this correct. Okay, I think it is that I had, it's not plot test, it's test plot. Hopefully this will do the trick. Good, and it looks like it transferred, so let's check that out. We'll go to downloads, and did it show up here? Yep, right here. So just came in today, and there is the plot that was created then on the LuckFox device with matplotlib. Okay, so that has now completed this part of the setup, and so we'll complete this video here. It's already pretty long, and then we will go on to some of the next stages where we set up a Flask page. Will be one application. Another application will be connecting to a Google Drive, where we'll just send some time and voltage signals, and then we will talk a little bit about the GPIO pins, and that'll kind of conclude this sort of first half of this mini course. And then as time goes on, we'll be adding more videos on actual applications in the laboratory.